Good day, everyone. Today we have a special guest, a respected expert in international relations, Mr. Anurag Tripathi. In this lecture, he will discuss the historical evolution of the discipline of international relations, covering its key milestones and developments. This content will be valuable for both professionals and anyone interested in global politics and international processes. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our future videos. Enjoy the lecture.
The topic given to me is the historical evolution of international relation as a discipline, how international relation as a discipline evolved. Though if you we look as a subject, as a discipline, IR as a discipline is very new. Actually, you can see that it came after First World War in 1990, first time in United Kingdom, University of Aberystwyth. This pronunciation is little different.
Mhm.
First started Woodrow Wilson Chair, and from there actually IR as a discipline evolved, or you can say that in other words, it was marked at the beginning of the IR as a formal discipline. But if you look back to the history, you will find that IR as a discipline was existing there in ancient and medieval period. I'm
Mhm.
not going to that much back and understand IR. Rather, I will start IR, which is formally you can say start after the Peace of Westphalia in 1648. Westphalian peace treaty actually, through that, the concept of sovereign state came, and uh, first time people started discussing about the state behavior and how state is behaving with other state. That is a major concern because each and every state in Westphalian treaty that was sovereign means that supreme authority is belong to the state, and no one can intervene in the affairs of state. The state are prominent actor, and they can take the decision in international order by own. The Westphalian Treaty is a mark point in discipline as a discipline of IR. From 1648, that is Westphalian Treaty, and to 1919, after the First World War, actually whole IR discipline primarily focus on diplomatic history. When I'm saying diplomatic history means that most of the IR discipline experts, they were talking about the interaction between the states and among the states. But after the First World War, there are a lot of changes took place in discipline. During the time of 1648 to 1919, it was minimal attention on theory building. There was no theory building as such in IR as a discipline. But after the First World War, uh, we can see a lot of changes in IR as a discipline. And for that we have to look little bit historical background of the World War One. And other thing, we have to understand two major thinkers uh, to understand IR discipline, how it is evolved. And in that context, I think two thinkers are there. One is Immanuel Kant, and other one is Thomas Aquinas. Immanuel Kant discuss about the perpetual peace, and his writing Perpetual Peace, he discuss about how to achieve peaceful order. And Thomas Aquinas talk about just war, and he discussed that sometimes for the good reason war is required, and after that we can achieve the peace. In that context, we can understand the World War One. Once World War One over, uh, Woodrow Wilson tried to broad the idea of Immanuel Kant, and he came with the idea of the perpetual peace, and he discussed about 14-point formula, and under this formula he tried to create a organization which will help uh, international order to make peaceful world order, not like war order. Because you can see world already seen First World War, and huge amount of collateral damage took place because of that. But now, after the First World War, Woodrow Wilson tried to bring the idea through that we can peacefully survive in international world order. And that's why the idea of League of Nations came. So you can say, in other words, it is a 14-point formula which were taken by Woodrow Wilson, that was taken from Immanuel Kant. And there are huge influence of Thomas Aquinas also, who discussed that war is sometimes coming for peaceful order, and that is applicable in in the case of League of Nations also. Another important thing, after 1919, especially in United Kingdom, they started IR discipline, I already discussed. And university started chair, Woodrow Wilson chair in Wells. That is a marking point if we are looking historical evolution of the IR as a discipline. It started from Wells. But if you look after the First World War and between Second World War, uh, the discipline was very idealistic in nature, because it focused on how to maintain the peace. They are discussing about the role of League of Nations, and the whole focus is shifted from towards international law and collective security. So I just again pointing out that from 1648 to 1990, if we are looking IR as a discipline, the main focus of the discipline is historical understanding as well as interaction between or among state. Their focus is less on theory building. But if you look the interwar period, especially 1919 to 1945 period, you can find that it is more focus on global peace, how to maintain peace in international order. And for that, they are talking about the creation of institution like League of Nations. And their main focus is shifted towards international law and collective security. This is something they are taking in a very idealistic manner, that you can say, you can use the word liberal also, because they are saying that it is, we can create a peaceful world order that is coming from Locke. John Locke is saying human nature is good, and for that it is a state responsibility to maintain the individual freedom and peace and other things. In that way, liberal are, you can say that idealism dominated during the interwar period. But whole idea is failed once Second World War started. How much discussion was there during interwar period, that how League of Nations has a capability or ability to somehow manage peace in the world order. That is completely failed, because World War II started. And World War II started, once World War II started, the whole discipline is shifted towards the new framework, that you can see it was existing as an ideal framework which is talking about the peace. And Second World War, completely it shifted to the realism, rise of realism, that became more important here in IR after Second World War. The main idea is realism started looking in a very rational way, and they are saying international system is an anarchic system. There is no single authority in international system, and because of that, each and every state is insecure in this system, and that's why to achieve interest or for the survival of the state in are fulfilling the interest of the state, power is the important factor. Each and every state try to achieve the power in you can say maybe they can enhance their capability, or they can create balance of power. When I'm saying balance of power, they can make alliance with other powerful country and try to balance international politics. And this approach became dominant over idealistic approach, and that's why you can see this approach became dominant, and still you can see realist approach is one of the important approach to understand IR, because it is giving very comprehensive understanding about the IR. The major thinkers which were there in realist thinking, that is Hans Margenthew, whose main work is based on competition and conflict. And he discussed that competition and conflict, these are the two important major characteristics are there in international relation discipline. Later you can see the this discipline evolved, and new framework came, like you can see neo-realist, which discuss about international structure. Their focus is too much about international structure, and they are saying because of international structure is anarchic, that's why state is behaving like that. State is always behaving uh, uh, in international system to achieve the power, to fulfill their interest, because they know that there is no authority existing in international system. So that way neo-realist came. Realists are talking, if you see the difference between these two school of thought, realists are talking state is a prominent actor, but state is governed by human behavior, and human behavior is you can say that very subjective, it is keep changing, and that's why it is insecure, because human behavior accordingly taking decision. The state is taking decision, but in neo-realists are saying because structure is very insecure, and that's why state is behaving according to the structure. uh, and he also, Kenneth Ward also bring the idea of um, you can say that he bring the idea which discuss about balance of power, and he discussed that balance of power is somehow state is behaving in context of which group is strong, and on the basis of that they are bandwagoning towards that. And he came with the concept of polarity, and he said that there are three types of polarities there: unipolar world, bipolar world, and multipolar world. He said that bipolar world is one of the stable system where two major powers are there, and most of the other country they are bandwagon towards these countries. You can take either United States of America or USSR. Most of the country in the world they bandwagon towards them only. So this is another framework which evolved in IR in 70s 80s. To counter that, and another important things which Kenneth was discussed, because war is something very important in international relation, and he discussed about the causes of war, where he wrote a very interesting writing is there, that is known as Man, State and War. In Man, State and War, he discussed about the three level of analysis, where he discussed that how international anarchic structure create a problem, and that's why it is a war-like situation is there. Slowly in 1970 80s, new framework started coming, that is known as a neoliberal. We already discussed that during interwar period it was a liberal or idealism which dominated, which discuss about the peace. Now new framework came in 1970s, that is known as a neoliberal model. In neoliberal model, they are lot of things they are accepting what uh, neorealist and realist are saying, like state is a prominent actor, international system is an anarchic system. These two things they are accepting, but they are saying what realists are saying, that it is always warlike situation, it is always conflict situation is there. That is not correct. There are cooperation possibilities also, and that's why one major scholar came in international politics. His name is Joseph Nye and Cohen, who discuss complex interdependence, and they discuss that international system is anarchic, there is no doubt about this, but there are possibilities of cooperation. One side, realists already declined the idea of cooperation. They are saying it is war situation. Rather, 1970s liberals are saying that there are possibility of cooperation because no one is perfect in international order. Someone may be resource rich, someone may be technology rich, somewhere maybe agriculture sector is strong. So no country in the world is perfect. They have to rely on others for the survival. So it is not only discussing about the war situation. There are uh, there are other aspect also. You can take the economic aspect. There are aspect which is discussed about the cultural and other thing that also play very important role. The state is cooperating. They are not always in the mode of competition and conflict, because state is a rational actor, and sometimes when they are cooperating they know that it is going to help them better rather going for war, because war is giving collateral damage to both the countries, enemy and as well as the country which is fighting with the enemy country. Rather, if they are coming to the cooperation, they can decline the war, and they can save their resources, as well as they can survive properly, and they will not lose their human resources. So that's why complex interdependence is talking about the institutionalization process, which actually discussed during the time of interwar period, like League of Nations created peaceful world order. Similar way, they are saying that we can create an international institution and institutionalize things, and through that we can cooperate to each other. They are saying that 1970s 80s lot of organizations came, whether it is a regional organization or international organization, which play very important role for peaceful world order, for cooperation angle in the international affairs, rather only focus on war like situation. But again, what happened in 1991, uh, after the collapse of USSR, whole idea of realism and liberalism framework became outdated, because you can see what Kenneth Ward said, that uh, bipolar world is one of the secure system, because most of the country will bandwagon towards either one, and that's why it is going to be balance in international politics. How it happened in during the time of Cold War period, it was a somewhere secure system and peaceful system. But 1991 changed entire perception of IR, because now it became unilateral world, and unilateral world changed into multilateral world. What Kenneth Ward said, he said that multilateral world is the most dangerous world, because it is possibilities of war is more there in multilateral world. And that's why you can see most the two dominant theory in IR, the realist and liberal theories, they were in question mark, and that's why new securitization theories came. Our critical theory in globalization emerged during that time. the lot of new questions started coming. Traditional state-centric approach is changed because a lot of new actors came in international politics after 1991. You can see earlier only state is a prominent actor, but now you can see a lot of non-state actors are playing much more important role than state. Also you can see a lot of militants group like ISIS, Al Qaeda, they are playing very important role in international politics. You can see a lot of MNCs, multinational companies, they are playing very important role. They are defining state to state relation. Lot of you can say international organization and regional organizations are playing very important role to shape the international world order. So it is not only state that is main focus of discussion. Rather, after 1991, lot of new perspective started coming. Even the main feature of the IR, which discuss about to state relation, that became questioned, and that is in question mark because now it is coming from state to non-state actor, and some new perspective started coming in IR, like feminism, constructivism, postmodernism, and all these approaches which discuss about the cultural exchange, global challenges, and other things. Another important concern is there in IR, how it is evolved. The whole idea of security is changed. Earlier, it was most of the concern is traditional security. When I'm saying traditional security, it is war between state to state, conflict between state or among state. But the whole phenomena is changed because non-traditional security became more prominent. You can see question of global warming, that became a problem for the world. Whole world is facing huge problem. Our whole world civilization is in question mark because of you can say that global warming and other issues. There are questions like pandemic. We suffered from 2020 to 2021, 2 years we were face huge problem across the globe. In global world, because of interconnection among the state, we can't avoid these problem, and these human security problem became major issues. Rather, traditional security is somewhere it is part of IR discipline, but it is now outdated. We moved from traditional security to non-traditional security, and that way a lot of new writers came. You can see like Barry Buzan, Amitabh Acharya, who all are talking about the new securitization theory to understand the IR. So I am just concluding here how IR evolved from Westphalian Treaty to now in 21st century. It has lot of phases, and if in summary I can say from 1648 to 1999 is a first phase of IR, which discuss only history, which discuss about interstate relations, which they are focusing less on theories. Theory building was not that important. From 1919 to 1945 is another important phase of IR discipline, where focus is more idealistic oriented, which talk about the peace, which discuss about the international institution, which discuss about international law. These became the prominent in IR discipline. After 1945, when war again took place, people start thinking that liberal model or ideal model is not working, and they came with a realist model. A realist dominated in international politics till 1970s, and then 1970 again new model came that is known as a neoliberal model. Neoliberal saying cooperation is possible, rather that is saying war is essential part of the IR. And now after the first after the collapse of USSR, since 1991, new type of you can say that securitization theory came, which is not only discussing about traditional security, rather focus on non-traditional security. Its focus is changed to constructivism, critical thinking. It discuss about the feminist ideas. It discuss about the cluster and regional centric approaches. Writer like Barry Buzan, Amitabh Acharya became very prominent, who started discussing better framework to understand the IR. So we can see this is the growth or evolution of IR. We can discuss in this way. It's fine. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for this detailed explanation of the emergence and development of the international relations system. I'm sure that your lecture will help our students, especially for the second-year students and third-year students who are currently studying this topic in detail in their classes, and your lecture will be like the important material for them. Thank you very much.